There was a rumor that on Fourth Chamber, you wrote that as a diss.
Yeah, that rhyme was to be against Ghost and RZA. That's why I was like, I judge wisely. I had to come off on that one.
I judge wisely, as if nothing ever surprised me. Lounging between two.
Welcome back to the Broken Home Podcast. Before we get into this one, I need you all to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. We have a dope guest. I'm a huge fan. We have Killah Priest. How you doing today, bro?
What's good, my brother? What's good? What's good, man? I can't call it. Don't want to spoil it.
I hear you.
In there. Yep.
I hear you. I hear you. So how we always do it here, we always take it right back to the very beginning. You grew up in Brownsville, I believe it was?
Yeah, Best Eye, and Brownsville. Brooklyn, you could say.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Okay. What was it like growing up in Brooklyn then?
Man, it was, I mean, back in the days, it was pretty wild. It was fun though. It was a lot of parks, a lot of things to do, you know, a lot of activity going on, a lot of good food.
Yeah, hell yeah. Did you have a big family? Did you live with mom and dad? What was that?
Yeah, I live with my moms. I mean, I live with my moms. My pops was out in Brooklyn. They had split up though, you know. So
oh yeah,
I was out there. I was out in Brooklyn. So you know, my nephew and my sister, we was out there. Had a good time. The air was right. Hip hop was there. I mean, it was just a good feeling.
In your neighborhood, was it a tough neighborhood? What was it like?
Oh, definitely tough. Definitely tough. I mean, you definitely had to prove yourself. They had I was always a little stocky. I had a little weight on me, so plus I was hitting the gym a little bit. But we had a lot of hard rocks. They would call them back then, hard rocks, and they were definitely in my building. I had 4 buildings: 949, 59, 969, and 950. And guys would just come out and they'd just be throwing them hands all the time. It was kind of crazy.
In that neighborhood, do you think that helped mold you into the person that you are today?
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. I was introduced to hip hop. I was introduced to the Nation of Gods and Earth. I also was introduced to even church on that block. I was introduced to just a lot of Muslims, and a lot of brothers was coming out, you know what I mean, building and things of that nature. So yeah, I would say that. And dancing, pop locking and all of that.
Do you remember, Priest, where you were when you were introduced to hip hop? What that song was that got you?
Yeah, it was I was in Sterling. There was a place, Sterling Place, it was over there by Crown Heights. And the first thing I heard was These Are the Breaks. Because I had went down south too. My mother, she had took me down south, so it wasn't as crazy down there when I was too young. But when I got back, I went and I heard Curtis blow These Are the Breaks, and it was like, oh man, that did it right there.
Yeah. How old do you think you were at that time?
Oh, I think I was around 13, 14.
13. Yeah. And was that the inspiration for you to start getting into this music?
Yeah. Definitely. I thought because I first saw somebody pop lock it, so I thought I would get into that. So they was pop locking to that beat, to the song. Okay. So it kind of messed up my mind because they were going together so good. I was just like, wow, amazing.
As a youth, was your pops around regularly then?
Yeah, he would come around here and there. Yeah, he definitely would come around. Here and there. Well, that was like the highlight. Big time. He would take me over to his place and stuff like that. Yeah, he came through.
Nice. And when it came to role models, was he the role model, or were you finding role models in your hood?
That's a good question. My role models would have been, I would have to say my grandmother.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up.
She taught me. Yeah, my grandmother was my role model. She taught me a lot. You know, your pop's supposed, you know, he was there, but not all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My grandmother taught me a lot about respect and how to move and washing dishes and stuff like that.
Yeah, taking that responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned also the church. How old were you when you started getting involved with the church, going and whatnot?
Man, it started with Jehovah Witness just telling me on the street.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. You're telling me there's a heaven and a hell, and I don't believe in none of that. And I was like, there's a football, they gonna play football up there? I was all of that. So he was telling me, yeah, they could. They convinced me at that point that there was a football and there's gonna be this elaborate place. So I just started. I didn't know what I was really getting into. That's all. I just started getting into it a little bit. Then I ended up going to a Pentecostal church with my friend. And that was it. It got me to save me for a little bit of trouble. Moved on and got a little bit more wise.
Yeah. And as a youth, were you getting yourself into shit on the block? How was that? What was that?
I was trying to. It was hard to escape. It was there. It was always there. It was like either I want to call it gang fights. We didn't have too many gangs in Brooklyn, but we had cliques. Set up. From our block, it was known as GA, and we would fight the Decepticons. They were around the corner, and then there was a here and there. Yeah, definitely it was around.
Okay. And how old were you, do you think, when you started taking the music seriously?
It had to be like 15, I would say 15, 16. Yeah.
Take us through that. How did that happen? What was that evolution like?
I got down with a crew called Cool and 3 MCs, and it was just like we were always doing routines and stuff, and I wasn't that good, so I was like, I was just happy to be a part of the clique. So it was the Jazzy T and Master D and my man Master Ace, not the Master Ace, but it was another Master Ace from around the way, and they were just showing me different routines and what we used to do. Used to get in battles and stuff like that.
Was battling a hot topic at that time?
It was a hot topic, yeah. Going on different blocks and battling to see who's best and things like that. But we would do a lot of routines and stuff like that. When we do solo, then that's when you had to step your game up.
What was the routine like? Like you would go, then your boy would go, like
yeah. We would have rhymes like we would sing along, and then one dude would go, the other guy. It was like a Run DMC thing, like or treacherous 3. It's like, no, you could be on the place, and I was like that.
Dope, fucking dope.
Yeah.
How much time are you spending writing?
Back then I was just waiting on a crew. And then I started getting into my own thing. You know what I mean? As we got older, then I spent a little bit more time with the pen. And I started thinking outside the box a little bit. I wanted to just do a little something different than the normal just rhyme. So I was just thinking of it. But I spent some time with it. I definitely spent some time with it.
Are you the type that you like to write on the beat, or do you hear the beat in your head? What's that potion?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, both is good. But I normally write with the beat in my head. Yeah, that's how I started, because there was no beats. And then when I got around the Clan, there was like tons of beats coming. So it was like, all right now. And that was not just regular beats. It was just fire beats. So I got a chance. I never really get the experience to rhyme to the real fast up-tempo thing. That's why I have fun doing it. Like with Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and Coogee Rap would rhyme real fast. You know what I mean? So I never rhymed at that speed limit.
Yeah.
I was at a slowed down, like Wu-Tang, like soul type of beat.
And who were your biggest lyrical influences growing up?
I would have to say the Jizza, Kane, Rakim, and Slick Rick.
Okay. The art of storytelling.
Coogee Rap, yep. Coogee Rap. Definitely.
How did you get introduced to the Wu-Tang Clan? How did that come into play?
Well, I knew RZA from way back. Jizza brought him around my block and we battled. He came out victorious that day. He put up my whole crew, Cool and 3. And then so I met him that way. And then Jizza told me that they was forming a group. After he came out with Word from a Genius, he told me they was forming a group and he wanted me to come down and check them out.
And you got in there, and how did that break down? Like, did you have to show RZA what you could do?
Yeah. It was crazy. I had to show my skills. Jizzle used to brag about me a little bit, so it made me feel good. I already had this expectation when I came through, so it made it a little bit more easier when I came. And I just went. I was going in. It was just raw lyrics. It was fun. It was something that we took at the same time took real serious to the heart. Like the pen, it was rhyming. It meant something. So
Yeah,
it was like my words right there. So yeah, I had to battle. I think Ghostface. Me and Ghostface tapped the sword. He liked it. He was impressed, and RZA was impressed. So he was good.
that's dope, man. That's dope. Well, there was a rumor that on Fourth Chamber, you wrote that as a diss.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that rhyme was to be against. It was Ghost and RZA. Well, they were joking on me. It was. I had to. That's why I was like, I judge wisely. I had to come off on that one.
I judge wisely. If nothing ever surprised me. Lounging between two pillars of ivory. I'm lively. My dome pieces like building stones of grease. Poems are deep from ancient throws I speak. I'm overwhelmed as my mind roams the realm. My eyes the vision, memory is the film. Others act subtile, but they fragile above clouds. They act wild and could budge a crowd, no matter how loud they get. Though they growl and spit, clutch their fists, and throw up sounds like a crip. Throw all types of fits. I leave them split like ass cheeks and rag pussy lips.
Word, I had to come off on that one. So that's I was actually talking about them from that round.
What was there like an internal beef at the time, or was it just because
No, it was
you
no
had
beef. It was just friendly fire. It was just friendly. They I would say they inspired me. They inspired me.
Oh, okay.
It was. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. So you get involved with Wu-Tang. How long are you guys grinding? Like, how much are you putting in work before you guys start going out and blowing up like you guys did?
We put in, man. It was. I just remember the parties, the cliques. We had to put it in. We had to battle a lot on the side after the show, meeting different artists, and so I was learning different techniques, and just like, oh man, we could do this. And then we came with the Grave Diggers, and that was a whole horrorcore. So I was really, that's where the name Killah Priest came from. In the horrorcore era.
You weren't always Killah Priest before that.
No, I was Lord Messiah. I was Lord Messiah. And you'll hear RZA say that on our first album, Lord Messiah. So that's how that was. Yeah.
What was the motivation behind changing the name up? Was it an evolution of yourself, do you figure?
Yeah, I thought, that horrorcore was here to stay. And it was real fun. So I said, man, I need something that's going to be frightening, but at the same time, bring forth some knowledge or something like that. So I chose Killah Priest.
When you were growing up, how did your family take it with you doing the music? Did they have your back the whole time?
Yeah, definitely. My mother did. Definitely. Yeah, my cousins, they were, it happened so fast. It wasn't even a set. It just was happening. And, we was in the studio. Next thing we got a record on this player. My nephew, who was alive at the time, he was excited. He got to hear Bible, and that was it. The first verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your thought process writing that verse for Bible?
Oh man, I don't know. It was a rhyme. It started out. It was just a rhyme of one verse. And Jizza told me, if I complete it and do another verse, the hook, he'll put it on his album. So he challenged me to that, and I was like, "Oh, say no more." I went back and I wrote the second half. I was inspired by everything that was around that I was going through.
Were you able to enjoy that time in the early days with Wu-Tang, or did it just kind of go by like a blur?
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. There was so many moments though. There was so many beats and so many studio sessions. It was crazy, because we set off into another, with the Sons of Man and the Killer Army, and we had so many little brackets that little pockets that we were into. Like even after the sessions, we would stay longer and just keep, it was fun. It was right there.
And when you look back at that time when you first got involved into the whole music industry as a whole, is there anything that you would have changed thinking back at it now?
Yeah, I would definitely make sure that the business come first these days. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it was like we let RZA and the management handle most of the situation, but I think with me and Jizza, I think I was kind of like modeling my career off of how he was doing his, and so he had a different manager. So I was looking into doing different things too.
What was your relationship with Old Dirty like?
We were very close. You know, he put me on his album. He even wanted to sign me at one point. Him and Jizza was like, yo, battling over me, man. But Jizza, Dirty was very intelligent, man. You know, it's until later when the drugs and all of that. But he still was very intelligent, spoke very well, and he was just a star. He was a star. You saw it on him. He had the clothes more than everybody.
Yeah. Do you think that he put on a bit of an act, like doing certain things, or was it a character he was playing, or was that him?
Yeah, well, you can get caught up in your character. Definitely about knowledge. That part, I don't know if a lot of people seen that, but yeah, I would say the Old Dirty Bastard, he lived out the character to the fullest. You know, I think, you know, like method acting, part of that was him. Like a crazy, you know, I guess he brought out a wild side to himself that he never knew existed.
Yeah. Do you watch Wu-Tang American Saga?
Nah, man.
No, you don't watch it.
Watch it. I have no time.
Yeah.
What is your finally introduced my character though? It was dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. I was wondering like if it was going to be how you remember it, or if it's somebody else's take on how they remember it.
Yeah, I think it's mostly RZA's take on it. I guess he's getting, you know, well, I say that they're gonna switch it. they'll be coming in there. Yeah, it goes word. You know, but it's mostly him and his brother Divine, and you know, I met Divine later down the line, but I knew RZA. You know, I just knew he had a bunch of brothers like Ninth Prince. Shout out to Ninth Prince too.
Are you still in contact with everybody?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I did a bit of touring with Ghostface for a while. So, and you know, me and Jizzle, we was always tight, and we toured in the earlier years, and you know, we still do shows, spot dates here and there, and then you know, if I see everybody, then it's always love.
Yeah, everybody's moved away from each other, I believe, too. Everybody's all spread out. Is it hard for you guys to keep in contact? Because you all got your own lives now.
Yeah, yeah. We still keep in touch by cell phone. And Capadonna comes up, he'll visit me here and there. You know, Capadonna comes up a lot, and we talking about doing something together right now. Just me and Cap.
Nice. That's gonna be fucking cool, man. You plan on going on any tours or anything like that?
Yeah, right now I'm just concentrating on the Podcraft. I'm doing spot dates here and there. And I think I'm working on a tour right now with my man DJ Notion going through the Southwest.
Are you a fan of being on the road?
Man, I love it. It's therapy for me. Yeah, because I like that great outdoors. You know, what I mean, different type of places I like going stuff and just this experience. I haven't been out in a minute, man. So every time I go out, I have a good time.
What's the worst part of being on the road?
Time. You know what I mean? You gotta get up, you know, everything's the itinerary kills me. Word, itinerary, everything's schedule. And the food, I switch it around now. The food, because we eat terrible on the road. So I try to make sure that we get to a good spot because we want to be around.
Yeah. Are you responsible, or do you have a manager that's setting your schedules up?
Well, sometimes, no, I definitely have a manager setting it up. Sometimes I be involved in it, but I can't do all of that.
So say you just get off tour. What's the first thing you're doing?
Man, get home and go to sleep. Relax. Just be to myself, man. Get on YouTube. Get on YouTube, you know, do some research, you know, just talk to my girl. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on your Podcraft.
Yeah. Solid Jim.
Yeah, that's dope. What was the motivation between you two starting that?
He's just a good speaker, right? And a lot of people we probably didn't know that because he was into a lot of martial arts and football. But you know, a lot of they see a lot when you're on the field, and I guess he had a good you can have a good conversation with him. He understands a lot. His mind, and he's my youngest son. And so it's just like when he starts speaking, I was like, oh man, he'll be great for the craft, man. And man, he came in and we gave him his own little slot. We just started, but Wisdom of Solomon, he started doing so great, and then people love him. And I knew it because after I heard him talking, I was like, wow, Dad, he's good for life. You know, his take on things are kind of is very widespread.
Yeah, because he's got that generation now look at things, and
Yeah.
your generation, yeah. So it's like two different eyeball sets hitting it. Does it ever clash?
No, never. We never crash. I guess because we play around with it. The things I don't understand, he'll explain it to me. Like, show me. If I don't know it, then he'll explain it to him. And then I'll talk about stuff like happened in my days, and he'll be just laughing. Like, you know, I remember the world without cell phones, you know what I mean, before that time. So we just take it because it's good understanding between us, so we got a good chemistry. So I guess we know when to lean off, you know. Mostly.
Nice. And you've had David Icke on. You gave me a shout out on your last show there. You got a wide range of topics on there. And there's a lot of spirituality types of conversations and things, different perspectives. Is that what you're really into? You're into that type of different outlook then?
Definitely. Mostly when you hear the music, I think that's what kind of drew the type of crowd, because I got different type of genres of music, but that one, I guess they kind of like picked onto it. And I like it. It's right up my alley. I love it to talk about things that's unseen and unheard.
Yeah.
Esoteric, dark side type of thing. I like those topics. I like the topic on relationships too.
Okay, yeah.
Like coaching, life coaches, and things of that nature. We try to get some inspiration at the end of the day.
Yeah, for damn sure. If you can have some great minds, you always got to be able to pick them and gain something, gain a little bit of knowledge from each other. That's that's number one. That's right. Always, yeah.
What's your process for getting guests?
Well, we have different kind of feelers out there, and sometimes. You saw Nepal on the show. She helps reach out, and some of them, a lot of people reach in, and they hit us up on the email. We'll talk to them, and that'll be it. And a lot of, like, we have a team that knows all these guys. We used to work with Vinny. This cat used to reach out. He was online a long time ago, and I guess he knew a lot of those guys, and it turned into a good guesting.
Yeah, your studio looks dope. Is that a separate location?
That's because of my man. Yeah, that's where my man AD. He's my engineer. He's also he mixes a lot of my songs. Him and Seasick, and AD is the one behind all of. He's professional as they come, and he put the setup together, man.
That's dope. When you were out on tour as a youth with Wu-Tang, what's the craziest shit that you've ever seen going on out there?
Man, there's so many. I think RZA and Dirty had a little problem on the stage one time. I think he pushed him off the stage. Pushed him off the stage, yo. It was crazy. And then one time, Master Killah, Mike wasn't on. Like, he was spitting, but it just looked crazy because he was like, homicide is legal. But the mic was like shut off, so it looked kind of weird.
Shit. Was the women always flocking to you guys right after the shows too? How was that?
Oh, that was definitely happening. That was definitely happening. Ain't nobody in trouble, but, that was available.
Yeah.
Woo mommies, a lot of woo mommies.
Woo mommies.
Yeah.
With the Podcraft, where do you see yourself taking it? Are you going to just continue the way it is, or is there going to be further evolvements to it?
Yeah, definitely. I want to Spotify. I want to go all over the place. I want to take it to the big screen, man. I on just take it up there. You know what I'm saying? So we get the sponsorship, and I want to take it all the way there. Joe Rogan level,
Yeah, that's the same thing that we're trying to do too with this. We're trying to just build it up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys don't have sponsors yet.
I know, right? I know. They just we had couple people looking at. I won't mention no names just in case, but we had a couple of people hit us up though.
Oh yeah, that's cool then. Some things on the horizon at least for it.
Yes, definitely.
When it comes to Horseman, how did that come together?
Cannabis and Razzcast and Corrupt. They came together from them brothers. They put me up on it, and it was really Cannabis and Raz. And me and Raz this. So there you go. And we actually was all in the studio when we recorded. We didn't record like these guys be sitting for Pro Tools and flying. We were actually in the studio doing our thing.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Are you close with Corrupt as well?
Definitely. Yeah, we have got even closer joined. You know, what we needed to do is start touring, but we got closer. I knew Corrupt for years though.
We had one of his bros on. 40 Glock was on our show here.
40 Glock. Yeah, I met 40 Glock from Razzcast.
Yeah. 40's a good dude. He's got stories for days too.
Yeah,
he's fucking lived a crazy life.
Yeah, he is. He's one of those cats that was out there doing it. Or
yeah,
still doing it.
Yep. Are you married now?
No, not yet. No,
okay. As a father, what's it like having a son growing up in today's age?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's like I got 3 sons, and so I see different aspects of it. It's just crazy growing up in those millennials, but they're knowledgeable. My sons, they're a little different. They could kind of step back and look at the situation. They all rhyme, they all rap, they all got different talents. It's just it's different because they show me certain things. I learned about from watching them too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. I wish that we had that type of technology that they have available these days when we were kids.
Man, I wish, man. I wish. It probably was dangerous though, because I would have been pouring out. I would have been crazy because you know, back then we only had magazines, so Word. Now it's just oversaturated. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
They don't have no Vanessa Del Rio and stuff.
Yeah. And I would never have failed a class in school either. That's for fucking sure.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. That's it. Exactly. You get answers all over the places, and you can hold a galaxy in your hand, man. It's just crazy. Yeah, man.
When it comes to God, what's your relationship with God? Have you maintained that since you were a youth then?
Oh, definitely. You know, I have that. Yeah, exactly. I've maintained that. I think I'm comfortable for where I'm at, but I don't set no limit. But I'm definitely comfortable as I'm going. I'm pretty much cool.
And I saw in your bio that you had stepped away from music to learn more about religion. How did that impact your writing when you came back?
Well, a lot, man. A lot. I've been talking about it. Still does. You know, I like all of that. Sumerians and Kemet and Hebrews, all of that stuff, and the Canaanites. But a lot of that stuff, and even as the world, because science is math, science and math, and it all goes together. You know, I try not to. I don't have the purpose of doing it, but it comes out.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, what we always do is we ask our guests if they could drop a positive message to the youth, something that you wish that you would have known or something that you did learn over your years. What can you give them some game for?
Stick to purpose. Stick to your purpose. Don't let nobody stray you off of purpose. And go with your gut feeling. That's it.
Awesome. Priest, thank you so much for coming out. It would love to have you on again sometime when you got more time and we can chop it up.
Yeah, man. Where you at, Toronto?
No, we're in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Yeah. No doubt, man.
Right on Lake Superior.
Yeah, that's peace, man. I love Canada, man. Word.
You gotta come up through. Sometime, my
Whistler.
bro.
I like Whistler.
Yeah.
Whistler got that. Yeah, love right there. All right,
Awesome.
then.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, and
Thanks for
we
having me.
appreciate your time. You have a
Peace,
shout
brother.
out for anybody before we go? Anything?
Yeah, shout out to the Podcraft. Shout out to the Pod, the Darkest Minds of the Light. Shout out to Solo Gems, Coach Solomon. Shout out to AD and everybody at the Podcraft that be helping along. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Where can the people find you at?
They can find me at Real Killah Priest, just regular Real Killah Priest, no Real Killah Priest at IG.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so
Priest.
much for coming on, bro.
Peace. All right.
Talk to you
All right.
soon, man. Broken
All
Home
right.
Podcast, everybody. Have a great night.
All right.